What you're about to witness is 50 minutes of unedited ramble fest, almost no face, just car parts. I wouldn't watch this if I were a sane human being. So, forewarning, like I say, it's completely unedited because I don't edit videos. I just string them all together, and it's a mess. You're gonna get bored. You're gonna turn it off. But and I didn't even record all the. Sorry, I'm really tired. I just woke up. I had to sleep in the truck last night. Anyways, yeah, I didn't even record all the good stuff. I have no recordings of me actually doing work. It's just progress reports, and you can see what's been done. It's horrible. You shouldn't watch it. Run away. The less views, the better. Don't watch it. But I'm gonna post it anyway because I did the work. So let's go. Well, big day today. Because today, the Golf is going to get pulled into the garage to start getting dissected. So I figured we would go along for the maiden voyage. I got some trash we got to take to the dumpster. So I figured we would get our last drive as an automatic. Ah, enjoy that sunset. Not too shabby. Alright. Hit them glow plugs. That was quick. She fired right up. Alright. Also, right here, this cubby, that's where the armrest goes, because if you notice, there's no armrest. And the Volkswagen Bug that I bought has the armrest, and I already ripped it out. I didn't get any of the surgery on the Bug in video. Anyway, the Bug's completely apart. But this is an automatic. This is going to be the last drive it ever takes. It's got, let's see, 200,000, 914. So we're going to get it done before 201. So basically right at 200,000 miles, it got its surgery. Well, without further ado, slap her over there in the first, foot off the brake. The dumpster. Already losing trash here. I don't know if somebody opened it, didn't shut it or what. I gotta call my dumpster guy and have him come do an extra pickup. Close these doors here. Alright. Then we'll take her back on up the driveway. You know, I never did check my mail today. We'll get that on video too, because it's just such a beautiful day. Oh, Mr. Mailbox. Hello, hello. What else do we... Oh, ho, ho, ho. What do we have here? These are poly mounts, poly transmission mounts for the Golf. Transmission's gonna be stiff as a rock. What do you think, Mr. Mailbox? He says, I'm a mailbox. Look how green it is out here. It's been raining. Alright, Mr. Automatic Golf. Spin that torque converter, baby. Get an audio clip of that torque converter. Spin the slush. Alright, I'll pop her in reverse. And then go put her in the garage.
Understand the ramifications of miscegenation? Get the hell out of here, you gook bitch, and take your degenerate Zionist art with you. Dude, we just split up John and Yoko. I think we just saved music.
Oh, anyway. So here's the bug. I bought this at an auction. Paid too much for it. And the reason I bought it was because this is the whole top end of the engine was in these boxes in the trunk. So it's got these Tad Jenkins, which is, local car dealership, license plates, and it's got like the badge on the trunk right there, you can see it. This says Tad Jenkins, like that's the big car dealer out here. So they must have taken it on a trade, only then noticed that the valves were all smashed because the head was still on the block. And I bought the car, got it towed here. The tow truck was able to just drop it right here and into the shop. And when I pulled the head off with the engine still in the car, you can see these valves. That's just not even straight. Look at that huge gash in that one. I'm not worried about that. I would put new valves in it. The problem was the cylinders are all scored to hell here. So because it broke the tips of the glow plugs off. There, and there. That's how long the glow plug is supposed to be. And so you can see how they're just down the nubs. And that one's completely snapped off. So yeah, the glow plugs broke off and went banging around in there, put dents in the pistons, and which aren't really a big deal because these are the combustion chambers. But either way, the cylinder walls are all scratched up. Anyways, I didn't buy it for the engine. It would have been cool to just get it running, because then I would have sold it, because it's a 2006 with 120,000 miles on it. But with all that said, the reason I bought it was because it was a manual. And so what did I do? Well, there's that. Shifter box and cables, axles, transmission, brake pedal, clutch pedal, brake pedal, because all you gotta do is change the actual little pedal. This is the entire clutch assembly, for the clutch, the starter, and that's what you need. Oh, and then of course you got to do some rewiring to the automatic transmission wiring harness for the that's gonna be the reverse switch that turns on the reverse lights, and the wheel speed sensor for your speedometer. So you got to rewire those, and you got to rewire and reprogram some of the computer in it to make it happy. But the bug's in really good shape. It's completely tore apart right now. I got it all ripped apart, but it's a really clean car. And I really wanted to keep it clean and put together and nice, but I also needed to completely rip it apart for, all the stuff I needed. So Yeah, 120,000 miles on it. It's fully loaded, heated seats, everything. Anyway. Yep, so that's the bug. I'm going to probably try to put the automatic transmission in it. I'm going to buy an engine for it, put the automatic in it, and try to sell it for like $7 grand. See if I can make some money. Anyways, that's it. Let me take a step back here. There you go. Gonna get the bug down off the jack stands probably, and get the Golf up on the jack stands, and then go inside for the rest of the night because I have a fever of like over 100 degrees because I've been sick for like the last week and I don't even know why. Anyways, well, that's almost 10 minutes of rambling already. But anyway, that's the update of what's going on in Jeremytown. Alright, so we got her parked and up in the air. Got the CV nuts out because the CVs are different. Just started taking some stuff apart. Got the battery out, the battery tray, the air box. That tranny, it just looks like spaghetti, dude. I'm like, where does the spaghetti stop and the transmission start? Like I can't even find the bell housing. I'm like, where's the bell housing? So I see teeth. So it's there. It's like, is that even a bell housing bolt? If that's a bolt, I don't know how to get to it. Because it's got a transmission directly in front of it. So there's a bolt. Right there. They all look like 12 millimeter reverse Torx. So luckily I have one of those, or whatever you want to call it. Not reverse Torx, I'm sorry. They're 12 millimeter triple squares. So anyway, on the manual transmission they were all just like 16s. But started getting in under the dash here. Ho ho, look at that. That piece of carpet installation's already just fallen off. It's like, it knew the day was going to come. That it was going to get pulled out. Oh, look at that. It wasn't even attached. I promise I didn't even pre-pull that. It was already just falling off. It knew the day would come. Alright. Let's do it together. You ready? Pull that plug. Oh, come on, baby. Maybe we'll want to push it out. Oh, don't. There it goes. There it is. Haha, I see light. Alright. Halfway there. Well, with the clutch. Ta-da! Sweet. And then we'll just have to clip our little end on our brake bottle. Whew. There's some light in there, alright. Hell yeah. Alright, well, calling it a night. Still working on this stupid brake pedal. But got the clutch pedal in. It's all mounted up. Looking good. Yep, got the clutch pedal. Alright, putting the brakes on for the day. Didn't do much today, but oh, where's the light? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Let's see here. Just got electrical pulled. You know, the mount's just down to one bolt. I got the lower mount off. I had to move it around a bit. Shift linkage is disconnected. Yeah. Clutch assemblies put through the firewall there. Just still gotta cut the nipple and hook the line up, but I gotta drain the coolant because to get to that starter bolt there, that's a pain. That starter bolt's loose, and then the starter will lift off. Let's see. Down here, I got a couple bell housing bolts out. CVs are disconnected right there, but there is a bell housing bolt right Oh, where are you? Oh, up there somewhere. Right there. You can see it right there. Oh, right there. It's a 14 millimeter triple point. I don't have one. So I'm kind of stuck dead in my tracks until I get a set of triple squares that has a 14 mil. So, yep. Other than that, the pedals are done. I think I have that already in a video. I don't know. It's, you know, a different day. So, either way, pedals are done. And they all function. Still got to get the transmission shifter changed, but we're getting there. Getting there. Alright, little update. Fighting quite a bit. Had to cut the exhaust off. Typical Jeremy car. Just couldn't get any of the bolts to turn, then I had to do it to get the shifter box out. Anyways, there she is. Just take it in, baby. Just take it in. So aesthetically, it's very pleasing. This cable here is the shift interlock that goes up to the ignition switch. The ignition switch turns with it in this position. So I don't know if I'll just cut it off or if I'll take it apart and remove it. I don't know yet. Because there's going to be a lot more time-consuming stuff coming very soon. Mainly wiring. Where this 175 relay is. That's your park neutral safety switch. And I'm going to start hijacking into that because I have two clutch switches here. They're going to start wanting signals for like cruise cancel. So when you press the clutch, it shuts cruise control off. Then you have, which one is it? It's the top one. This one is what you'll use your park neutral safety switch for, and you'll tie in the press the clutch to start the engine, but I'm just not going to hook that up because I don't give a shit. This bracket was kind of cool. It totally worked out. It's from the Bug. I mean, everything's from the Bug, obviously. But, let's see. And then, yeah, this will be for the clutch cancel. For the cruise control now, I believe you hijack, there's a speed wire, I think, in here. I don't remember. I'm going to have to go refer to the wiring diagrams, but feeding the ECU a speed sensor, because I'm going to have to rewire. Let's see. So that's the automatic transmission. It's still in there. I'm waiting on my correct sockets because those are like 16 millimeter triple squares. I mean, they're huge. My finger almost fits inside of it. Biggest triple squares I ever saw in my life. I mean, yeah, I can almost stick my finger in it. There's one there, and then there's one down in the bottom. Torque converter bolts are out. Looks like all wiring's disconnected. These are the manual transmission shift cables. I guess I put that shifter box in, so there they are. I can go ahead and hook up the clutch line, but I'm just going to wait until the transmission's out of the way. It makes working in there a little bit easier. Because, you know, it's kind of in a hole. A much deeper hole than it appears when I do this. And having room to reach your hand is that kind of gives you an idea of how big that hole is. And how do you manipulate your fingers down there, or even down there, trying to have room. It's very tight, very horrible. It's just, yeah, I mean, just to kind of illustrate again, that's the width of my finger to try to get over here. So, as you can see, my wife is a very pleasured woman because my hands are very talented because, good God, I can't. I mean, how do you get through all these hydraulic lines around all this. Yeah, it's a nightmare trying to get your hand in there. So, if I can just stand right, there, or, just be like, popped up from the bottom and working, it'll make it a lot easier to get those two lines on. So, let's see what else. I just gotta take off this transmission cooler line here. That's really about it. We gotta go hack up the Bugs harness because the vehicle speed sensor and the reverse light switch. I know you reuse some of the transmission range here for that. But anyway, yeah. Then I gotta pull the cowl off because the ECU and the transmission controller TCU are both back inside here. You can see the wiring harness right there. So that's the ECU, and then the transmission one's over there. And you gotta move some wires from the transmission harness to the ECU harness and then unplug the transmission computer. So the wiring's gonna be, this has been just so much fun, but the CV axles are bigger and more annoying. I couldn't just pull them out with the wheels still on the car like that. I never even took the tires off. This, I can't get the CVs out. They're just too big. They don't come out on either end. Anyway, enough rambling. I think I might call it tonight. There's not really much more I'm going to do. Maybe I'll pull that cowl off, but start playing with some wiring. Anyways, that's that. Oh, hot damn, that was a nightmare. Anyway, it's out. I hacked up that poor CV axle. Wasn't its fault, it was mine. We gotta change this power steering line. Still gotta get that flex plate off the back of the engine. Looks like I might have a leaky rear main. And of course I didn't buy a new one because I'm retarded. Hopefully they got one in stock in Pocatello tomorrow. Let's see. There's torque converter. There's tranny. There's the CV axle. Sorry, buddy. But I was sitting back over here. That transmission is so big. Look how big that transmission is compared to that engine. I know the engine's a foot or two behind it, but that transmission's gargantuan. That's a whole motor. Look how big that thing is. Yeah, it's huge. It's a size 13 shoe I'm wearing. Anyway, cleaning up some of the mess under here. Some kitty litter going. Yeah, it was fun. So, get the flex plate off. Power steering line out of that into this. And then I'll probably get the clutch or the flywheel and the clutch done. And then I'll probably call it a night tonight. Getting there. Well, I don't have a 12.16, so I'm literally doing it just like this. And they have Loctite on them, so it's just slow going, getting this flex plate off. This is basically the fun I've been having. Oh joy. I think I'm going to try to reuse that power steering line though. The internet says it won't fit, but I don't know. I think I'm feeling confident. Look at that. Look at that freaking diesel engine oil running out of those bolts. Yeah, this rear main's gone. I can't put that flywheel on until I get a new rear main. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That is definitely diesel engine oil. Explains the leak. There's also wetness up here. Could get slung around. I don't know. I don't know how to work on cars. I just pretend. Oh, it's off. What a mess. I'm not sure if it's the rear main or not. I mean, I'm gonna replace it. It's just really disappointing I can't get the flywheel on the night. It is what it is. But, there she is. All ready to not be an automatic anymore. There's that old plate. The car's going trans. Manual trans. How's that for a size difference? Obviously the manual and the automatic. This is kind of misleading. This is just a mount. So I mean, that's the transmission's the height of my hand. I mean 6 inches maybe. This thing. You want the height of my hand again? What a monster. I mean, like, look at this little gearbox is, you know. I mean, what is that? Not even 8 inches? Maybe 8 inches wide? This thing's like almost 2 feet. That's the starter. Weirdest starter I ever saw in my life. Anyway, I couldn't believe the size difference. It just... from the front, a bell housing's a bell housing, right? I mean, the bell housings are going to be the same size, but... Good gourd. What a difference. Oh yeah, and the weight, I can pick that up with one hand. That I can barely lift. Enjoy some scenery. So here I am, like 2 weeks later, finally getting back at it. This is a position you never want your engine to be in. Yeah. Rest in peace, motor mount. Ooh, it just about popped out, actually. Oh, actually, it is popped out. It's popped all the way out. There's nothing holding this engine in. That's kind of funny. Well, except for the transmission that's on the ground. I got the jack in place. Anyway, ran into a snag. The manual transmission out of the bug, right? Even with an engine block in there and everything, I was able to drop it down and get it out with the CV axle still in. Not so much on the automatic. So that's where I'm stuck. It's all jammed up. So jammed up that I can't, get it to come out. Because there. So I started into it with the Sawzall, but then my battery died, and my other battery says it's charged but won't run the Sawzall, so I guess it's just decided to kick the bucket. So yeah, gotta cut that CV axle in half to get it out. Had a big oopsie. I drained it, but you know how automatics are. You drain them and it's just never enough. Oh yeah, it's a big oopsie. Anyway, she's coming, but I just can't go any more this way to get it to go that way. So, what do you do? That's just where we're stuck at the current moment. I'm just gonna try to get everything mechanically done. That way, hello train. Thanks for being loud. I'm just gonna try to get it all mechanically finished, and that way I can start driving it again, because it saves me a lot of money on fuel. But all this standing around, I might just might start with the wiring. I mean, geez, I don't want to do wiring right now. I want to do wiring when I'm done. Here I am, monkeying around. Well, a funny thing happened. I went to stab the transmission in, and the whole engine just decides to just fall out. I mean, it's like way just into the center of the engine compartment. My jack is slipping, that's holding it. I've got the transmission holding it up, but I can't. I need the jack where the transmission is. The problem is I need the transmission to hold the engine up while I take the jack out, but then to do what? Because the transmission's in the way. I had a trusty bucket. The bucket can still get the job done. The problem is like I said, you need to hold the engine up while you lower the jack, but then the thing holding the engine is where you need to put the jack. So, I'm going to try to put the bucket where the jack is and just try to maybe rip the transmission out while it's under load. And then try to get the jack in there. Because the problem I was having was the engine was too far this way. I couldn't get the transmission in because the diff and everything's hitting the control arms. So, because the whole engine shifted this way a few inches. Trying to go that way, it's just, yeah, it's been a thing. Anyway, just having fun. Sure wish I had an extra set of hands. Now we're just doing some wiring. This plug sits here. I pulled it out. Has this relay 175. We are going to put what's called a 53 relay, which is just a 4-post relay in its place, because this is the park neutral safety switch as well as the reverse lights. So we don't have an automatic transmission for a park neutral safety switch. So right now the car won't start even if you tried. Well, it doesn't have a freaking transmission or a starter in it, but you know what I mean. If you turn the key, nothing would happen because the start neutral safety switch would not be reporting, right? So in a manual transmission car, of course, that is controlled by this plug, which is the press the clutch to start, which, of course, being an automatic car, it doesn't have the equipment for that either. So right now, it doesn't have anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to ground this pin, which is... Oh, no, it's not that one. So I'm sorry. I believe it's this black wire. I'm going to go back to my schematics and look, but one of these wires is just going to go to ground. That's convenient. Big ground lug right there. You just ground it. And then when you put your 4-prong relay in, it allows the car to start. And then I'm going to T-tap one of these wires. I forget which wire, but I'm going to T-tap it and run its ground to the reverse light switch on the transmission. So I'll have working reverse lights as well. And then we'll have to build a vehicle speed circuit, but that's not for right now. I ramble way too much. Alright, calling it a night for tonight. Let's see. This is the transmission range connector. It's what, when you put in park, reverse, neutral, drive, it's what told the transmission computer which gear you were in. We're just kind of stealing some wires from it. I've got a ground here and a switched ignition here. And those are going to both power the reverse lights and the vehicle speed sensor. Because we have to build this vehicle speed sensor circuit since the automatics don't actually have a vehicle speed circuit. Well, they do. It's inside this 20-pin barrel connector, and I've already hijacked it, but more on that in a minute. So yeah. So that's that. And then this wire here, this red with a yellow stripe, I'm just using this as a carrier because it goes to that same relay that I showed you earlier under the dash. And we're just going to use it to basically take, it's either a ground or 12, I can't remember. It takes the signal from, so when you clunk it in reverse, it takes one side. Right, so we're going to run, it's either a ground or a 12, I can't remember. I think it's a ground, because everything's switched grounds. But so you put it in reverse, it completes the circuit. You have the ground here, and you put it in reverse, boom, and the signal comes up, runs in this wire, takes off to that relay where it powers the reverse lights. And actually, no, I think it is a positive trigger. I don't think it's a negative trigger. I think it's a positive trigger. I'll have to go relook. But anyways, yeah, so you have power going to the switch right here. You got power on one side, and when you put it in reverse, the power gets to pass through and come out the other side, where it takes off down this carrier wire, and then the power of the reverse lights. Now, vehicle speed sensor, I already kind of started, and I'll show you that. Wiring here, let me see. Get this. So that's a 3-pin. And so what I'm doing is I'm hijacking this white wire here. This is the vehicle speed wire. Now obviously there's no sensor there. I'm just stealing the wire. We put that on the center pin, which is the signal. And of course we have a switched 12 and a ground, which we're going to, ground it here and get a switch 12 volt here. Like I said, we're going to land both sensors under this. And then it'll plug into the vehicle speed sensor on the transmission, send the signal up this wire, which goes to pin 66 here on the transmission computer. But we don't have a transmission computer anymore because we don't have an automatic transmission. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut that white wire at pin 66. I mean, I only have to cut it. I can just T-tap it. But we're actually going to send it over here to the ECU wiring. We're going to find pin 56 in this mess. And we'll send it in the pin 56. So, a lot of rambling, but basically you're just kind of just borrowing existing wires that are already harnessed, in the car. Because you could just run all your own wiring, but that would look horrible. So we're just borrowing a bunch of wires, since there's a whole bunch of copper in the car that's not being used. We can just hijack these wires and just use them for whatever we want. So that's what I'm doing here. Just hijacking a few signals. But I'm going to just call it quits here for tonight. It's getting really cold. I told Trisha I'd be in at 10:30, and it's 10:35. So, I'm going to go inside. But not before I drink the beer. Anyways, thanks for listening to me ramble. Been a while since a video update. Been a long day. Anyway, I don't even know what was in my last video because it's been like multiple hours since the last time I filmed one. Long story short, I'm pretty sure I already filmed it, but I put a big nice crack in the oil pan with the jack. The engine basically tried to fall out. Had to catch it with the jack, put a hole in the bottom of the oil pan. Now luckily I got two motors. This is the oil pan from the Bug. I think I know what was wrong with the Bug, because this was so full of sludge, I was blown away. Pan's in okay shape. See those scratches there? There's a little bit of a winner right there. Let's turn it around, sorry for the rotating. Right there. But it's solid. I took my friend Mr. Light, and we're gonna shine it around the back. And I know I have the light on here, but still, you don't see any yellow. No yellow light. So although it's ugly, it's still solid. So, it'll do. Not happy about it, but I can always change the pan later. Not a big deal. It's a pretty easy job on these cars. So, with that said, got a look in here. Oil pump tensioner guides look good. Let's see. Just while we're farting around, I don't see any sludge. It's a pretty clean motor inside. I'm pretty happy with it, actually. Not bad for a 200,000 mile motor. I can't. Whoa! I'm gonna throw the phone on my face. Can't quite see all the way up, but I was hoping to get a look at the bottom of the pistons. But it's got this big, I don't even know what the hell this plastic thing is here. Some kind of drain back or something. Because that's the pickup. Now I'm rambling again. Anyways, we're going to clean it up. Well, what's going on up top? Well, that, my friends, is a manual transmission. Mounted. Shift linkages. This hose is from the manual along with this neck because they're different. I got a block off right there because that coolant hose went to the transmission cooler, but there's no more transmission. So they sold those little like rubber plugs at the local whatever Advanced Auto Parts. So I got that, but kind of runs into that shift linkage there. I don't know if you can see, but that shift linkage ain't happy about it. It's right up against it. Toy like a toy guy. What else? Got the clutch done. Made our cut. Slipped it on. It was fantastic. Long video. I've been going on this thing nonstop. My brain is fried. The shop cat. I don't know what to name that cat. I'll just name it Meow. That's just what I call it. I'm like, meow. We do meow. We do meow. Meow. Cat came with the house. Anyway. Yep, she's in. She's mounted. I could be driving it. If I stayed up till midnight, I'd be driving it, but I'm not. Gonna get the oil pan done. Probably put oil in it, put the dogbo mount on it, and probably just call it a night. Anyway. Well, in a rare turn of events, I'm turning wrenches in the AM. I don't think I've ever turned a wrench in the AM since I've moved here. So the cows are across the street now instead of next door. So, anyway, we're doing our business in here. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so getting close to the end of this super long, unedited, rambly mess of a human experience I call mine. It's been real. Let's see. The only things left is bleed the clutch. Vehicle speed sensor wiring, reverse light wiring, and yeah, put the battery tray in, put the airbox in, that kind of stuff. I do have to do a little wiring in the cowl. I have to move a few wires across a few connectors. That's just switching pins, no big deal. Because, again, like we say about hijacking signals, the ones that go up to the car are, we need to change kind of where they run once they get in there. Or the ECU, the computer will see the speed of the vehicle, but the speedometer won't, right? So we gotta move a few wires to make the speedometer see the speed. Anyway, I'm gonna get at it. Say hi. And speedometer works. Yeah, buddy. It's good. Just time to get the laptop, start programming. And so, the big hole where it was is empty. Because it runs and it drives. I just took it out and was beating on it a bit. I mean, obviously you shouldn't beat on a fresh clutch, but... you know. You gotta check the power gains. So, interior is still disassembled. I have to reroute this relay and put it back where it belongs and clean up that wiring and then put the panels on. But it runs and it drives. One thing I don't like is the shifter kind of like, that's the neutral position, that's fourth, and then that's third. Where third is looks like neutral, right? Nope, that's the neutral position. And this boot does not is not the correct boot for this console, so it's just kind of there for filling a hole. But yeah, it eventually even like comes out and gets all out like that. But there you go. It's officially a stick, and I couldn't be happier. And it got done, you know, 80 miles short of not being able to call it exactly 200,000. So I'm gonna say it was done exactly 200,000. Dale, yeah, brother. All right, so I mean, it's been a few weeks. I've been driving the car as a manual, but no cruise control. So we're fixing that now. And what we're doing, this is the 94 pin connector here. I just popped the two connectors out of the main socket. As you can see, they fit in there. They just kind of load into the back. Either way, I popped them both out. And what we're doing is we're just moving this white with a blue stripe. That's the kick down. So there's a little switch under the gas pedal. When you press the gas pedal down to the floor, if you press a little harder, you'll actually click a button. And that forces the automatic transmission to downshift, right? It's called a kick down switch. It tells the automatic transmission, we're to the floor, let's go, like power, right? Well, we don't have an automatic anymore. So what I'm doing is we're going to take that same wire that goes to the gas pedal. We're going to pull it out, and we're going to move it over into this connector, into pin 43, which, yeah, whatever. Either way, it's a blank one. These blanks, they have these little rubber knobs on them. You just pull that little rubber nipple out, and then we'll just slide the pin in. If you're wondering why I have a sewing needle, it's because you have to push. You just push these little tabs up and then slide the wire out. So I already did that here. So as you'll see, it'll just come out. Well, of course it should. With two hands it would, but either way. Oh no, actually, I think it fell in and got plugged in. Hold on. There we go. It was a little movie magic. There it is. So we're just going to move it over into this connector in the number 43, which is the clutch switch. Now that the computer's programmed as a manual, it needs this to know that you're not pushing the clutch. Because it thinks the clutch is being pushed all the time because there's no voltage. It needs 12 volts in this pin 43. And when you push the clutch, it disconnects power off that, and so then it knows you're pushing the clutch. The car's always like, oh, you're pushing the clutch. Cruise control can't work. So we're going to put 12 volts to this so we can actually have working cruise control. That's the whole plan of this ramble. Well, we got to finish putting the interior together. But I ran my little wire to my gas pedal. Now we have no check engine light. Let the clutch out. Well, I say, if I could even keep the thing on the road. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. And now, a low resistance. Going to push the cruise control button. Boop. Pushed it at 50. Feet are off the pedals. Look at that. Oh, I don't believe it. She's just cruising. Fantastic. So that's the wrong shift boot from the Bug. It doesn't fit the console of the Golf. So it's just, I'm sure I've covered that in like 10 other videos, but this project's been going on for about a month, on and off, so there's certain things that I remember, forget, but oof, either way. And here's my house over here on the side. We'll go ahead and go up the driveway here. A little downshift in there, a little downshift action. Give her a big one. Send it. All right. Still in the shade. The sun doesn't come over the hill till like 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's 8:30 now. So the sun's just coming over the hill. Alrighty. In reverse, you push down and go over. Right there. Chugga, chugga, chugga. And this e-brake was like never used because being automatic. So one of the cables is completely frozen. So the rear driver's side back tire doesn't do anything. And the other, and just having one brake really, don't set it on a hill because the car will literally, the back wheel would just be locked and it'll just and slide with a locked tire. There's just not enough weight on it. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this interior put back together. Just to kind of show you real quick. Top of the gas pedal here. You can see my little wire running there. Kind of connected to the harness. I just had to cut pin number 1 on the pedal. And ran that up, back, around. And right here to number 75X, which is a switched ignition, so when you turn the key off, there's no power to it. When you turn the key on, there's power. And yeah, so I'm gonna get all this paneling put back on, and yeah, we got working cruise control, working manual transmission. I think I'm done making videos rambling about this thing. I think so. So I'm gonna edit all this together in the 1 hour long ramble fest. Yeah, this has gone on for probably almost a month, and I am just stringing these videos all together. Shot from my phone with no editing, so you enjoy the rambling. But yeah, anyway. Finally done. Oh, and I have burned a tank of fuel already in the automatic or in the manual, because the fuel savings are fantastic. But there's a funny problem. The problem is I'm burning a third less fuel. So on paper that sounds great. According to the car's own ECU, right, I can plug in and I can get the data from the car and I can see exactly how much fuel it's injecting. And it used to inject 25 milligrams of fuel per stroke of the engine, cruising at 80. Now it's only injecting about 14. sometimes as low as 12. So 25 to 14, that's 11 less milligrams per stroke. That's pretty good. That's, 40% or something. But the problem is the engine used to run at 2600 RPM at 80, and now it runs at almost 3000 at 80. So there's 400 more strokes per minute because the gear ratios in this manual transmission are geared a little shorter, so it runs higher RPM at the same speed as the automatic. So I'm using like 40% less fuel, but I'm spinning the engine 30% faster. So the best tank I ever did on the automatic was like 40, and I just ran a tank of fuel through the manual and I got 41. So I'm getting almost the same exact fuel economy. But I guess it's funner to drive. You can get bigger fifth gears, and fifth gear is really easy to change. On the side of the transmission, there's a little cover, pops right off. Fifth gear's right there. You can just, heat it up, slides off, slide a new one on, pop the cover back on. You can change fifth gear pretty easy, but if I change the fifth gear ratio, it makes the computer mad, and I lose cruise control again. And then it needs a bunch more programming to get the cruise control to work again. So, oh god. Anyway, long enough video. I'm done rambling. I'm gonna put this together.